Okay, so this video is going to let you guys know who is wondering um, why my first daughter got taken, and I'll explain it all to you, okay? But 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so this is the DL, the down low. This is what happened. I got pregnant when I was 14 years old, and no, I'm not a whore. What had happened was when I was 12 years old, I was molested by a my best friend's father. To get out of that situation, the father's best friend, the one that was molesting me, his friend moved in. And at that time, I just had enough. I was 14 years old. I had enough. I didn't want to be molested anymore. I wanted to get out of the situation. I thought his friend could help. So I went up to this guy and I told him everything. Well, here's what went wrong. He kind of took advantage of me also. Um, we did have consensual intercourse. I got pregnant right away. So let's fast forward to 9 months later. Um, 9 months later, I had I was living with my mom and my baby's father, and CPS came in and took me away from my mother and that situation. So um, then when I was in CPS custody, I had my daughter. 6 months later, I was going to school every day and I was listening and was doing everything I was supposed to, but I messed up. I took Shania, my daughter, to go see her father, and apparently that was putting her in danger. I didn't feel so, they felt so. They followed me to my mother's house. They followed me back to the group home. I was on time back home to the group home, and they didn't take her that day. She had regular visits with her father on Wednesdays. So one Wednesday, I'm at school, I'm in class, and I get pulled out of class, and I get this phone call, and it's one of the girls at the group home. She tells me, sorry, it's hard to relive this. Um, she tells me they took Shania, and I said, I know, it's her father's visiting day. Sorry, it's hard. Um, and um, she says, no, they took her stuff. You need to come home right now. So I left school right away and I went to the group home. And um, Sister Marianne, which is the person who was the director at the group home, stood there and said, you know what happened. And from that moment, I just lost it. I lost it. I went crazy. Um, so I had visitations twice a week with her until she was 2 years old. And I got a job and I, went to school and I was, at the group home. I was, doing everything I was supposed to, and I was fighting for her for 2 years. And they said, um, it's still not good enough. When I went to court for the final court date, they said, this isn't good enough. We don't think that releasing her back to you after 2 years, um, it would just mess up her mind. She would be confused. So I felt like, I felt like I failed. I failed as a parent and I failed as a person. Um, so thereafter, um, they gave me an option to voluntarily give her up for adoption, um, and get open adoption to where I could still see her on a regular basis, and or fight for her in court, and then if I lost, um, I wouldn't get any contact with her whatsoever. And I felt like if I lost that court date and was never able to see her, I think that would just kill me. So I chose open adoption so that I could be in her life regardless. Um, it's been, for the first couple of, years after that, it was, until I turned 18, it was regular visits. I got overnights with her. I got everything, everything was fine. She knew who I was. And then I turned 18. And it's been 3 years since I've seen her. I'm 24 now. Um, and it's really hard because I miss birthdays and Christmas. I miss everything. Last time I seen her, it was on her 5th birthday, and she told me, we walked out into the backyard, just me and her, and she said, "I love you, Mommy." And I felt like if I don't have her as a parent, I accomplished showing her love. If that's the only thing that I can accomplish, at least I accomplished that. Sorry, I'm crying. Um, but that's the story. Um, and it's up to the parents whether I see her or not. And I don't have any of their contact information, so I can't contact them and say I want to see my child. Um, they have to contact me. And I've gone through, adoptions, and I've tried everything to contact her, and there's just the same answer. We can't give you any information. And I tell them, well, can you let them know that I'm looking for them, and here's my number, and I still haven't heard anything back. So hopefully one day we get reconnected, but for right now it's just off, and I don't talk about it, and I try not to relive that moment because it's really hard for me. But that's why, Mother's Day is so hard for me, and pretty much every holiday is pretty hard for me. But that's my story, if you were wondering, and because I think I put something up there about not having her. So if you're wondering, that's the story, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Other than that whole situation, I did want to update today, and I was in the hospital again today, and I don't know, same story. They just sent me to a GI doctor, so hopefully that works out, and hopefully I can move to Florida, and we'll see how all that works out. But leave your comments below, and thanks for watching. Bye.